Those are also very interesting and controversial. They're very tied to Israel because he is one of the foremost Israeli philanthropists, despite being an American. But he founded what was called the Mega Group, which is essentially it was not disclosed for a long time. It was secret. And it is a group of Jewish billionaires that get together on behalf of global Judaism, which is not uncommon. And there's nothing wrong with that if they're not committing crimes. But they would get together and meet. And it's people like Leslie Wexner, Charles Bronfman. The list is, we could look it up. And that group, it is unclear if we have proof that they were conducting espionage, but there are all of them have ties to organized crime through various elements. Like the Bronfmans were rum runners, as one example, that were then involved in the mob. Leslie Wexner's involved in these trafficking rings, et cetera. And that group seems to have been directly associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And she's one that she shows all the primary sources and like lays it all out of this is what we know, and this is where the source came from, and this is what it said, and these are possible explanations for it. Here's one or two or three explanations of what it might be, but we don't really know because this is as far as the evidence goes. And so Leslie Wexner is just one where there's all this swirling evidence all around him that in order for him to not be aware of what's going on and to not have been an active part of this is damn near unbelievable in my eyes, allegedly.
That's well covered. You did a good job of covering your bases there.
Yeah, which I've learned to do because I started on TikTok where you can't even say certain words or you'll get taken off of TikTok. So,
right. Yeah, which is also fascinating. Yeah,
but like the files getting released, I am not expecting them to come out in any complete form because the mainstream understanding is that Jeffrey Epstein was the guy. Jeffrey Epstein was just an employee of these organized crime rings that work on behalf of like the CIA and Israeli Mossad and British intelligence and the whole, because organized crime is the black markets, the dark things, the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, the child trafficking. And intelligence agencies were designed to be legitimate governments' point of access to organized crime. Theoretically, intelligence agencies were supposed to be, Truman wanted the intelligence agencies to be a newspaper about what's going on in the world for the president to know, right? But Allen Dulles was not about that. Allen Dulles, founder of the CIA, was like, I want to do covert operations. And very immediately, covert operations were like overthrowing the government of Guatemala, Iran, buying the elections in Italy. They bought the elections in Italy by just passing giant bags of cash to the mafia so that they would just go buy the election right after World War II because they needed to not let Italy fall to the communists. It's where the Vatican is.